Hey Flosstube, Ashley here, Boogie Stitcher on YouTube, Shlism_Boogie Stitcher on Instagram, coming to you guys with a weekly update. I did it. I'm only a day late. Hopefully I can get this uploaded for you guys too, but we have lots to talk about. I stitch a lot in a week because I cannot focus on just one thing, although I wish I could. We have a couple new starts and some major progress, so let's go ahead and get started. First things first, let's go ahead and talk about the stitching prompts or the weekly prompts progress. I'm also gonna fix this. There, stay. Okay, my weekly prompts was oldies, and there was 3 that I chose, but I only ended up working on 2. So one of them was the Rainbow Owl, which I keep all of the pictures of on my cross stitch on my phone. And I have to scroll a little bit because it's an old one. Okay, there we go. So the Rainbow Owls, as soon as it focuses, and just, there we go. So my daughter wanted me to work on this owl right here. So that's what I did. And, ta-da! So funny thing is she wanted me to work on this owl, but I didn't even touch the owl. I just did all the background around the owl. Eventually we will get this silly owl done. We've been working on it for years. But that's what I did. So I just filled in all of the background. The only thing I'm missing is like right here. But all the background on the top is all the way done, all the way around, minus a couple of stitches right here. But just filled in a bunch of the background, and here's the chaos in the back. So did all of this right here. Not too bad for a weekly prompt, I feel like. I'm also gonna take this hoop because I think this one is done. And I need all the hoops I can get. I have so many hoops, but they're always missing because I leave them on the projects. Same with needle minders, and then I'm just like, never come back to that one, or don't come back to that one for a while, and then I'll find the needle minder. I was like, that's where that one went. So while I'm doing this, I'm gonna try and steal my needles and hoops and needle minders. All right, next up we have Beta Lion. I'm gonna show you the picture on my phone because it's significantly better than the one that the pattern came with. Beta Lion, oops. There we go. So this is the one I had the most fun with doing. So this was a purchase from AliExpress, one of my very first purchases. And I don't like the darkness of the stamping. It kind of like messes with my, I don't know, see, it's like super dark as compared to some of the newer stamps lately. Yeah, but I did pretty good on this one. So I had already had this fish done. I did right here, and then I started to connect these two to the lion's like face. I did a little bit like right in here, but this is looking really good, and the eye looks so good, but I have the eye done already. So I do want to kind of work on this one throughout the year, I think. It was a lot of fun to start to like get to see some of the things like come to life. So I do want to keep this one out. So I'm going to put this one out in the living room instead of in my room, so that way I can be reminded of it when I'm stitching it. I also converted this one into 10 stitch as well. So part of the eye and all of this fish are full cross, but everything else is 10 stitch. So like I said, part of the eye is full cross, but the rest is 10. And you can't tell. So yep, that's it. And then here's the back. I love the colors of this one. You got like orange and blue and brown. It's just a really cool one. So yeah, this one's definitely staying out. That is it for the prompts that we had this last week. The prompts for this next week are holiday. I think it's just holiday. So I'm gonna be stitching on my new Easter pattern, and then also my old Christmas baubles that I started this last Christmas. So I will show you guys that picture right now. I say old when I say Christmas baubles, but really it's not old. I just started this last Christmas. It's this one right here. This is from Tinseltown or Tinsel Cross Stitch. And I haven't gotten very far on that one at all. And then the next one is going to be my new Easter Dragon. I have to cover some of the pattern because it shows on here. And this is from Flossy Fox Shop on Etsy. I didn't get enough time on this one when I started it, so I definitely want to work on it more because I love it. So those are the two that I'm going to be working on for the prompts, so we'll talk about that next week. And then let's start with some good stitching progress. So I decided to pull out Gamer. Yeah. Yeah. Gamer. I don't know why I wanted to call it something else. Here is Gamer. I love her. I love her. I love games. I love, you know, the Mario and just the style of this pattern. We have a little hedgehog here. I already had him done. I got this part done last time. So I was working on connecting this top part to the hedgehog, and I, for the most part, did that. So I pulled this out just 2 nights, and look at that. Look at that. Would you look at that? So we have a flower, and we have the little piranha plant, and all of these little things connecting it. It just looks so cool. So yeah, and here's our hedgehog. So the hedgehog was done, and a couple of the stitches in this flower were done. And then I was just basically filled in the flower, fill in next to it, and then started connecting the two. So the only thing we have left to connect it is just this side area right here, and like one random stitch. Where did it go? Yeah, one like random stitch right here in the flower, and then like a couple of reds down here. But that is it. Oh, she looks so, I love this kit. I absolutely love this one. This is definitely one that I have next to the couch to work on when I don't really know what I want to work on. I pull this one out because this one, she's beauty. The back is total chaos though. Are you ready for this? Look at that. So I have no rules when it comes to traveling. I will travel as far as I feel like, unless I notice that I'm traveling significantly too far, or like far where I'm using more thread on the back of the pattern than I would be to just start a new one. So I try and somewhat pay attention, but really for the most part I'm just like it's all over the place. All over the place. Okay. Next one we got a fair bit of progress on is Sleeping Beauty. This one I'm stitching with the stitching colorist Shelly Lewis on YouTube. She is stitching the blue, I'm stitching the pink. And she sent me a picture of hers, and I was like, I have to continue working on this because not only is it fun, it's like super soft and worked in now, but it's fun to like stitch with someone. So here is where I've gotten to. So last time we talked, I had just started this rose right here. So I finished the rose, pulled down the black on both sides, and started filling in some of the black on her. So I basically did this right here. And she's looking so good. The only complaint I have about this pattern is that the castle's not in the background. I mean, come on. It's a Disney movie. It's gotta have the castle. But yeah, it doesn't. And that's okay. But I love this. Yeah, I love this pattern. There's only like 20 colors. Yeah, 20 colors. So it's a nice, relaxing stitch. So there is that one. Okay, next up we're gonna look at Howl's Moving Castle. I don't have a very good pattern picture. It didn't really come with a good one. So let me show you that one. Maybe, where did I feel like I did this last time too, where I couldn't find the picture. There we go. All right, so there is that one. super pretty. Like I said, we're just working in this top corner right here, and I'm stitching this Sparrow Stitchery on Instagram. And I haven't gotten very far. Actually, I don't think I've worked on this last week. Maybe I have. Maybe I'll show it anyway. So this is where I've gotten to. Yeah, I don't think I worked on this since the last time I showed everybody. But I'm going to be working on it today, so I guess I'll show you the before. But yeah, I love this one. Here's the back, total chaos. But today I think I'm going to start working on filling out some bulk color. So this this red triangle right here, I'm going to start filling all this in so I can start seeing some progress, because it's kind of a bummer when you work on something for a little bit, stitching in a bunch of ninja stitches everywhere and you just don't see any progress on it. I tend to get a little bored at that point. So we need to see some progress now. And I'm still really liking putting these floss drops on the binder ring. I did find some bigger rings, so I might switch them to bigger rings just to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, I really do like those. All right, next up we have my my stitching bookshelf. So it's a temperature style, but I'm not doing it as the temperature or the colors that are called for in the pattern. I am stitching it, excuse me, based off of reading time. And I have not been getting a lot of reading time lately. We've been super busy with sports, and I just can't listen to the book. But here is the pattern, and this just kind of shows you the layout too as soon as it loads. So we got January, February, March, and April. So I'm over here working on April. And I was pretty far behind. Actually, I was like March 15th was the last book I had done, or stitched. I hadn't even started the April. No, it was, I finished the March shelf, but I hadn't worked on any of April. And so this last weekend I caught for the most part up, not all the way. But I at least did to like the 15th. So I still am behind, but I gotta get caught up. So here's the last shelf that I did. This is March. And then here's the start of April. So this has 16 books here, and then the rest of April will go right here. I need to work on that this week, since April's almost done. But what I did do is there was nothing up here and I didn't like the open space. So I just stitched in some little like hanging glass decorations. This was supposed to be a moon. It doesn't really look like it. This is just supposed to be a little circle, and that's supposed to be a star. But you can't really tell, which is fine. It's special. I love it though. You know, I'm just stitching in a bunch of random knickknacks. Like here I have the flying key, and I'm making it all up as I go. And you know what? I'm having so much fun doing it. Even though it looks like a toddler did it, it's me. It's totally me. That's how I draw. So, and that's why I can't be trusted to, you know, paint or draw anything professionally, because, but I love it. I like it. I'm not changing any of it. And I decided I'm not going to change the hat either. He looks totally silly, but I'm going to keep him because it's just me. And I'm having fun with it, and I love it. Okay. Next up we have, oh, no, I didn't stitch on that one. We have my new car pattern. So the last update video, I had completed the rotation on on Beauty and the Beast. I just finished the Beast. So for this rotation, I am now stitching on my mom's Lighthouse. So, sorry, I had to grab the needle and anchor it. So here is the Lighthouse. Again, I am so rough on these pictures. I need to like laminate them as like little note cards. But here's what I'm doing, and I am over here right now doing the sky. So without further, here we go. So what I've been working on in the car is I've done this this last week, and I think I'm going to do one more weekly rotation on this one. I don't feel like I've gotten quite as much as I wanted to get done on it. I mean, I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've done 700 stitches on it this last week, but I wanted to get a little bit more. It was kind of a rush for a pickup, so well, this last week has been super busy and crazy. But yeah, so I'm gonna continue working on this rotation, I think. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So back in the bag it goes. Because we're gonna continue. This poor picture. You can tell it's a traveling pattern for me. Speaking of traveling pattern, I will do an update on the end of this video. Actually, yes. Don't let me forget. Okay, we have one more for previous patterns I've already started. And I didn't get a ton done on this one either. This one. Oh, excuse me. This one is my lifetime project, which is right here, the Enchanted Forest. And this one is kind of starting to drag on a little bit. I got another 200 stitches, another like story keep, or not story keep. How am I stitching it? What's the style that I'm stitching in? I can't remember. I can't remember the style of stitching that I'm doing, where you do the 2 rows and then park over here, 2 rows, park over here. I don't know. I mentioned in several videos before this, I guess. But anyway, so I finished another like tower, is what she calls it. And yeah, I'm getting bored of these colors. So I think what I might do is kind of stitch over here, just the 2, like 310 and 939. Stitch over until I can get to the middle of the pattern with some other color, so I can bounce back and forth between super crazy confetti to like mind-numbing, like bulk background. So I didn't get very far, and I didn't stitch on it every day either. I only stitched on it one day, I think. Maybe I did 2. Let's see. Yeah, no, I only worked on it one day. So, yeah. But it's kind of hard to get out when you're super tired, just because it's so big. It is easier to get out though than, say, like a crazy counted, because it is full coverage at least. So there is that. Okay, next up we have 2 new starts. So I started the World Frog, and I started this with Abby and Stitches and Sally Ann Crafting, and we started this just yesterday, so I haven't gotten a ton done, but got a fair bit. So I dyed this fabric. It's 14 count Aida, and I dyed it like a greenish, bluish, like tie-dye color. It's really hard to see blues and purples on camera for some reason, but it is really pretty. It's almost like an Easter egg blue. And here's where I got to. I got the full corner done of one corner, and I don't think I'm going to stitch the star. So that middle star slash like sun thing, I think I'm just gonna like do a bunch of French knots or like little stitches like stars like right in the middle. I think that's more me than the big like sun. But I don't know, I'm still kind of deciding on that one. But I think next I might jump down to do some trees down here before then doing the next corner, because once you started doing this like gold color, it started to kind of drag on. I was like, am I done with this corner yet? Please tell me I'm done, please. So yeah, that's where we got to so far. Okay, and last but not least, I was asked what I'm doing for Mania. And last Mania I did like a start every weekend, and I didn't want to do that because I'm already starting a bunch of new stuff already, even though I have a bazillion things on the go. So then I was like, well, and so then I was asked, am I going to do anything for Carolyn Manning May? And I was like, yes, because I have been looking at Carolyn Manning's projects or patterns for a while, and I've kind of wanted to. I saw Amy's Little Wonders. Is that her YouTube name? I believe it is. No, not Amy's. Golly. Alma's Little Wonders. She is stitching one, and she's actually almost done with hers. And I've stared at, I watch her channel all the time. So I've seen her updates on it, and I've really wanted to try one. So I did. Except I'm starting a small one of the smaller ones that come with some of your bigger, like, shooting star patterns. They have like one big one and then like 3 or 4 of the small, like, squares on the bottom. So I started this one. Let's see, view PDF. There we go. Is that amethyst? Anyway, this is the one I started, but I didn't want to do purple and pink. I liked the design of this one, but I wanted to do like more like the beachcomber, but in this like style. Because beachcomber has a different design on it, and it's like a sandy, it's beachcomber, so it's like sandy colors. But what I did is I took this bottom little pattern right here, and I turned it into, oops, I gotta scroll up to show you, because I was playing around with the colors and trying to figure out how I wanted to do this pattern. Maybe, where is it? I scrolled too far. I have the original in Pattern Keeper, and then I also have my mock-up version, so. View mock-up. So I turned it into this. So it's got that same like style and same kind of design, but I changed it to be like beachy colors. I've really been feeling the beachy vibe lately. So yeah, I just kind of played around with the colors until I found something that I liked and changed it into that. And so I'm going to be doing this for Carolyn Manning Monday, I think, or it's Manning Monday. So I'm going to stitch on it every Monday, but then I'm also going to stitch on this kind of a fair bit throughout May Mania. So here's where I've gotten to so far. I am stitching this on 14 count Fiddler's Ada. And it's not very big. I think it's 81 stitches by 81 stitches. And I just started this last night. So, but already I'm loving the colors already. And I'm liking how small the little like motif blocks are. Because this is full coverage, I like how small these little things are. You don't get bored of a color too quickly. So there's that. That is it for the stitching update. I did do some journaling. Journaling meaning like keeping a planner for my cross stitch. So I'm trying to get back into journaling or keeping a weekly like planner of everything that I need to do. At least for stitching wise or any appointments. And so I worked on this last Friday through this Thursday. I ended up getting too busy, which is my problem. If I get too busy, I tend to drop off of doing this. Like I don't have time, but that's when I need to do it the most because I can't remember what I worked on. So yeah, I didn't do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on this planner, but I did keep, I can't see, but I did keep a little tally of like what I worked on. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. That's what I did. And then I tried to put like little dots on like what days I worked or like how many days I worked on something. So I gotta keep going with that. I also, I'm trying to get into using Notes, which is like it's like an app, like a planner app. Abby and Stitches has been helping me, get that like dialed into how I would need to use it. And in doing so, she was able to get like a weekly planner like section for me in there. So I am trying to get in the habit of using that as well. So anyway, we're trying to use this. We're trying to use Notes. We're trying to be more organized. I'm telling you, so hopefully this can be like my accountability is like I'm working on it. I'm trying. But yeah, so that is it for this weekly update. Oh, and the traveling pattern number 1 is currently with my mom. So Marcia got done with it. Looks like March 20th, sent it over to me. I gave it to my mom on Easter. And so she is the last person to work on it, and then it comes back to me. So she is almost done with, she's got like a week and a half for her section, and then it'll come back to me. I'll make sure everything is finished, make sure everyone's initials are stitched around the outside, and then I will do like a little update video on what it looks like. Ta-da! And then we'll also wash it, show it off, and then we'll do like the drawing for whoever stitched on it gets entered into a drawing to keep it. So anyway, yay, it's practically come for circle, which is super cool. And I'm working on getting the Dumbledore one ready to be sent out, and I'll send that out as soon as I get the first pattern back. So yay, super exciting. So thank you all so much for joining. I really appreciate every single one of you. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave me a comment down below or send me an Instagram message or an email. And I hope you all stay safe, stay warm, and take care. Bye.